We're back with some more self-defense stories for you today. We're going to start in Nashville, Tennessee, where we have all teens, high school age. Our victim was 14. They're all males, and the suspects were 15 and 16 years old. 3 teens are facing charges after a shooting inside the Bordeaux branch of the Nashville Public Library. Police said detectives are serving juvenile court arrest orders against the 2 brothers. So the 15 and 16-year-old that were considered the suspects, they were brothers. In connection with gunfire inside the men's restroom at the library, detectives believe the 16-year-old shot himself in the foot during the incident and shot a 14-year-old in the groin. The brothers are being charged with attempted criminal homicide, reckless endangerment, and unlawful gun possession. Police said the investigation shows the 3 teens live in the same neighborhood and have engaged in an ongoing dispute. Detectives believe the brothers followed the 14-year-old from a distance as he and another teen who is 15 walked toward the library and entered. The 15-year-old is being charged with conspiracy to commit criminal homicide for allegedly acting in concert with the brothers. So it sounds like the 2 brothers were in cahoots with the 15-year-old who went to the library with the 14-year-old, and the 14-year-old was our victim that ended up getting shot. And the 2 brothers, likely they're being charged with attempted criminal homicide, reckless endangerment, and unlawful gun possession. So, if you're a parent and you do not know what your children are doing, you need to stay on top of this. These guys, it's in Nashville. Who knows, what kind of charges they'll give for at their age. Maybe they go away for a year. Maybe they don't even get any kind of charges for anything because it sounds like the 14-year-old's going to be okay. But if you're a parent, you could potentially be losing both your kids right now if that kid dies. Both your kids going away to jail. I mean, they probably will go away to jail for a little bit anyway, but you need to know what they're doing because it's either them ending up in jail or it's them ending up being the ones that are shot and injured. And some of this you gotta put some of this on the parents. All right, let's go to Chattanooga, Tennessee, where we just have victim injured and our suspect was unharmed. And this one looks like it's going to be a home invasion. Detectives are investigating a shooting at a home in Red Bank on Thursday morning. It happened in the 100 block of Goodson Avenue around 1 a.m. Police say they arrived on the scene to find that a person had been shot and taken to the hospital. Police say the initial investigation shows the shooting suspect forced his or her way into the victim's home, which led to a shootout between the 2. The suspect fled the scene, and police say this appears to be a targeted incident. The victim's name and condition have not been released. The investigation is ongoing. So this was a targeted home invasion where the guy, whoever that guy or girl that entered the home, targeted this home for whatever reason. We don't have a whole lot to go on other than it was a home invasion. All right, so let's go on to Phoenix, Arizona, where our victim was unharmed, but our suspect was an adult male who was injured and arrested. And it says the resident shot the suspect. So a man is in the hospital after he was reportedly shot when he broke into a home in North Phoenix. Phoenix police say they received a report of a burglary just after 12:45 a.m. When they arrived at the home near 43rd Avenue and Cactus Road, they found a man with a gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital with serious but not life-threatening injuries. Police learned the man was shot after he entered the victim's home. Police say the victim made statements consistent with self-defense and no arrest was made. The man who was shot will be booked into jail once he is released from the hospital. The incident remains under investigation and will be reviewed by the Maricopa County Attorney's Office. So this is another home invasion, a burglary, and another guy got shot. This one, at least, it sounds like he's going to be okay. He survived it, at least for now. All right, let's go to San Antonio, Texas. We got an adult male victim, and our suspect is a 23-year-old male who was injured. Car burglar holding victim girlfriend at gunpoint. Okay, we'll see what happens with this. A man was shot multiple times after he attempted to break into a car at a far north side apartment complex. The incident occurred just before 4 a.m. at the Roots at Count O'Connor Apartments. According to police, a man saw someone pulling on door handles and trying to steal his Kia. Police said the man and his girlfriend then went downstairs and confronted the suspected burglar, who was with two women. The two men exchanged words, and that's when the car owner says the burglar told him to give him the keys, which were upstairs in the apartment. The man told police the burglar was holding his girlfriend at gunpoint when he returned to the apartment and fired at the suspect from the balcony. The suspect was hit in the buttocks, shoulder, and back by gunfire. The two women who were with the man ran from the scene. The wounded man was taken by ambulance to a medical center where he's expected to recover. His name and age have not been released. Investigators say they found evidence of other cars being tampered with, including a broken car window on one of the vehicles. Officers, however, did not find any damage to the shooter's car. The San Antonio Police Department, the San Antonio Fire Department, and EMS all answered the call. At this time, it's unclear if any charges are expected to be filed against the shooter. The investigation is ongoing. So he fired from his balcony. He went up to his balcony. The guy stealing the cars wanted the keys, had his girlfriend at gunpoint. So he went up to the balcony, grabbed a gun, and fired this guy at least 3 times. He hit this guy from the balcony. So I don't know how far away his balcony was from where his car was parked, but that's a pretty good shot. He hit the guy in the butt, shoulder, and the back. So that guy's okay, but it's kind of sounding like some of the way they read this sounds like they're not sure that nothing had happened to this guy's specific car, that they're like checking out his story or something. So hopefully that guy's okay on that shooting. All right, so we got Texarkana, Texas, where we got an adult female who was unharmed, and our suspect is an adult male named Brandon Webb, and he was injured and arrested, and this looks like a domestic violence situation. Okay, a woman acted in self-defense after being attacked by her ex-boyfriend outside of an apartment complex around 6:30 a.m. According to police reports, the man identified as Brandon Webb was standing in the parking lot waiting for the woman to come out of her apartment. Attempting to get in her car, Webb proceeded to attack her while she was in the driver's seat after making a comment about the way she was dressed. At 6:30 a.m., he's making a comment about the way she's dressed. Webb attempted to shave her head with a pair of electric clippers that gave the woman several cuts to her forehead and neck. In an effort to defend herself, the woman grabbed her pistol from the console and fired one shot in Webb's direction. The woman then called 911 after Webb ran away. Webb was found within minutes by the Texarkana, Texas firefighters after hiding in an enclosed patio near nearby apartment. He was shot in the torso and was later transported to a local hospital to undergo surgery to remove the bullet. The investigation determined that Webb was the aggressor in the incident. No charges are expected to be filed against the woman since she acted in self-defense. So lucky for this lady that she had a gun in her center console of her car, which they say do not leave your gun in your car. But for this woman, it worked out good because her ex-boyfriend, and I tell you, these guys, women, you got to know who you're dating because these guys don't leave. If you're dating the wrong person, you break up with them for whatever reason, they are a part of your life forever. They always seem to just show up and come back. And you might be an ex. To them, they might be an ex, but to you or to them, they still have, they're not done yet. All right, so let's go to Dallas, Texas, where we have a law enforcement was injured in this one, and our suspect was unharmed. We have 3 suspects. Redriculous Lewis. Redriculous. I almost thought it said ridiculous when I first looked at it. He's age 19. Redtravion, polk. I would imagine that even though they have different last names, those two are related. He's 17. And Xavier Cook, he's 18. And this one looks like an armed robbery. And the two with the red in their name, if they're not related, I would be extremely surprised. 3 teenagers were arrested in Louisiana in connection to a shooting that left a Dallas police officer injured earlier that day. At 12:45 a.m. on August 9th, a Northwestern officer contacted 911 saying he had been shot and his unmarked car had been stolen. The officer was subsequently taken to the local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and his vehicle was eventually recovered. Hours later, police found and arrested 3 suspects across state lines in Shreveport. They have since been identified as redriculous Lewis, redtravion Polk, and Xavier Cook. All were charged with aggravated robbery. The investigation into the carjacking and officer shooting is ongoing, and police said additional charges are possible. So that actually, they ended up, they probably drove the car for a little bit and then just pulled over and got out of it. And, the police later found them. So that's the good thing, they got arrested, but who knows if anything will actually come of that. All right, let's go to Hammond, Louisiana, to the La Casa mobile home park, where our suspect, this is a home invasion, 23-year-old Samuel Raynaldo Maldonado-lael. That's who we got, and this is a home invasion. And we got a photo of this guy. The Tangahopa Parish Sheriff's Office said that they've arrested 23-year-old home invader after he was shot by the homeowner while forcing his way into the residence. Hammond native, the Maldonado-lael, allegedly forcibly entering through the window of a mobile home at the La Casa mobile home park on Old Baton Rouge Highway in the early morning hours on Wednesday. Chief Jimmy Travis said that Maldonado-lael assaulted a guest in the residence and threatened to kill the victim and her family. The homeowner shot the violent intruder just above the knee. Once shot, Chief Travis said Maldonado-lael removed all of his clothing and fled, shattering a nearby window of a vehicle in an attempt to barricade himself inside. Following his capture, he was transported to the hospital where he was treated for non-life-threatening injuries resulting from the gunshot wound and lacerations sustained from the broken glass. He was later booked into jail with the following charges: home invasion, second-degree battery, vehicle burglary, and resisting arrest. He admitted to consuming illegal narcotics prior to entering the home. The homeowner and guests did not sustain injuries requiring medical attention. So you could tell when I was reading through this, I'm like, this guy's, they're mentally unstable if he gets shot and then takes off all of his clothes. But it sounds like he was doing some sort of illegal substance, which led to that type of behavior, and he ended up with 4 charges. Okay, Cincinnati, Ohio. We got an adult male victim unharmed, and our suspect was an adult male who was injured, and this looks like another home invasion. This is the week for home invasions, apparently. A man has been hospitalized after a shooting in Clarion Township. The shooting was reported at approximately 5:30 p.m. The victim was taken to a medical condition. His condition is unknown. Taken to a medical center. His condition is unknown. On Aries Court and Burgess Drive, 1 block away, a man told police he shot a man during a home invasion robbery. Police are working to confirm if the man was shot and the alleged robber are the same man. So they don't even know if it's the same guy, but the guy was shot and it was during a home invasion. Okay, we're going to Las Vegas, Nevada, where we have an adult victim, and our suspect in this one was killed. And it doesn't say what that one is yet. A person was killed Tuesday night after a shooting in northeast Las Vegas. Officers were called at 11:24 p.m. to the 5200 block of Birdstone Court near East Owens Avenue after a report of a shooting, according to the police. Wicks said further information on the homicide would not be released because it is being considered by the Clark County District Attorney's Office as possible self-defense. The scene was still blocked off Wednesday morning around 9 a.m., and officers were talking to neighbors who lived on the street. So we don't have even enough information to know even a little bit about what that possibly is. It just says defensive use, victim stops crime. But this report doesn't really say what's going on, so we'll just assume that one was self-defense, even though we don't have a whole lot to go on. And that was our last one. So if you like this kind of stuff, hit that like button and maybe leave your thoughts in the comments. And if you're not already, consider subscribing. And I'll catch you again next week, same time, for the self-defense videos. Thanks for watching.